Good morning, traders. Welcome to Framework Fortune. We've got quite a bit that has transpired over the weekend, especially in the crypto markets, especially. Been real hot. So I haven't looked at the stock market yet this morning, but I'm going to make a wild assumption that crypto stocks are probably having a nice push today. But let's go ahead, move my mic around there a little bit. It's a little crooked. You might be hearing me all side faced. All right, let's see what's moving. I know where the NASDAQ at. It's, of course, getting rejected at that 13.5. We'll cover the NASDAQ and the news a little bit later on in the stream. But because I'm kind of going late, I want to go ahead and start figuring out what's running. Right off the bat, I can see Riot. Yep, that's crypto, blockchain stock. Big gap up there. Let me get these charts back so we can actually analyze. See, okay. I'm in my day trading setup. Let's get an analyze setup. You always, at least in my analysis, I always like to start from the highest time frame first, just because the higher the time frame, stronger the support and resistance, stronger the indicators. And we can see on Riot we've had this downtrend that we are very close to. Basically $10 is where it needs to break at. You can see this triangle where I called this out. God, that was back in what? It's, June? Beginning of June, midway through June, where I started calling crypto stocks to start ripping, and you can see this nice uptrend. That was actually a perfect inverse head and shoulders. I'll show you guys that pattern real quick. The pattern I called out was just that wedge, but where that wedge was at actually ended up being a shoulder. So you can see head, shoulder, head, shoulder, inverse head and shoulders, getting that bounce off of that shoulder off of the trend line. That actually probably, well, you got a triple bottom right across that bottom. So that is definitely one to keep on watch, as it is a crypto stock. Oh, I didn't even know Bitcoin pushed above 24 yet. BTCS, another crypto stock, low volume one, but very, very under watched stock, I would say the least. Let me go ahead and remove that line there. And it's actually pretty low, just coming off of an inverse head and shoulders too. More than likely, this inverse head and shoulders is going to be on every single stock. If I blow that up though, same thing, shoulder, head, shoulder. So there's an inverse head and shoulders on BTCS at the moment. We'll go ahead and draw that out, since that looks like that may be getting close to having a pop up. It just needs volume. This thing is super stupid. Low float. Not been lasted on the NASDAQ very long, and we know, if you guys have been following, we know the CEO of this company, Charles Allen. He's done multiple interviews, come on the channel and talk to us. And he said some pretty good looking statements. So we'll see what happens out of that. But even for like a possible day trade, if BTCS starts getting volume, like right back here, like you see across the whole time it's been on the NASDAQ, very, very little volume. When it did get volume on that day, that was 67 million, and it ripped from $3.40 all the way up to $9.13 in a span of that week. That previous 10-11 in some strong area. Let's see, NIO, that thing has fell out of that wedge. That also looks like it's a possible inverse head and shoulders here, but well, the 10-day did just cross the 50. I don't know. NIO is just the one we got to always keep on watch. Smith & Wesson, what are you looking like? They actually just upped their dividend at 10 cents. That's a good thing when you have companies upping their dividend. It means that they've got some money. And it looks like they're trying to get people back in the stock. It's Smith & Wesson. So, I guess maybe it's oversold because of all the nonsense about banning assault rifles, which, if anybody who knows about guns, there's no such thing as an assault rifle. It's a made-up term. AR does not stand for assault rifle. So, and if you are a true believer in the Constitution, the Second Amendment, they did not specify what type of guns that you could have or not have. It just said right to bear arms. So if you're reading that, in my opinion, I think if you want a bazooka, have at it. If you want a tank, go get it. It's only fair if the government, which is just people, can go out and buy tanks and planes and stuff, then why can't anybody else who are just people? Right? We got this whole stigma behind it, like, oh gosh, only the people in power should have the weapons. They should the ones who should. Yeah, that's the greatest. Think of that right there for a minute. The people in control who have all the power should have all the weapons, and we should have none. Anyway, enough of that rant. Back to the analysis. BKKT, another crypto play. This one actually is looking like this thing's been on that same uptrend. All these crypto plays have been on that uptrend since I was calling them out. Whoops, wrong thing. I'll get the comments in a minute, guys. I just want to kind of get oriented here because I didn't take a lot of trades last week or even trade at all in the stock market that much because of the DLA DAO that we just released. And by the way, the DLA DAO we'll talk about later too, but the DLA DAO is already pushing its value from some donations and some strategic purchases that me and Reliable Rudy, aka Austin Sowers, have been strategizing and picking up. So the DLA DAO, even though the token is not even out yet, the project itself is already generating revenues. So shout out to the whole DLA DAO team. Alright, anyway, so we know crypto stocks are trying to push, but they have already pushed quite a bit, so we're going to need to see them continue this run, which Juno has been on a tear. If you're not familiar with Cosmos ecosystem, and also Juno is what the DLA DAO is built on, and the same blockchain that the Framework Fortune DAO will be built on here soon. But the main thing, we got to look at is Ethereum. Oh gosh, look at that. Ethereum just breaking every single little triangle of consolidation. We are running into a lot of congestion here. So we did make a little higher high. It may not be the time to be looking at crypto stocks today, or at least not at the moment, as they did all just kind of spike, and along with the cryptos. And Bitcoin still needs to push up over this high, 24.8. Basically, it's been building up to the top of this channel where the breakout would come at 25,000 for this to push all the way back up to 30. So the thing is, Bitcoin, it could. We'll see. It's still early this week. It's Monday. This altcoin run and crypto run in general just kind of started happening this weekend. The real push, not the slow buildup that we've been having. Okay, HKD. Boy, I am so glad we put out that video. If you did not watch that HKD video, I suggest you check it out. We put that video out right at the top of this and warned everybody who watched it that HKD was probably going to be some type of crazy rug pull because this company, all this buying beforehand, they shrunk the float, and then it didn't take much retail buyers. There was just barely any volume on the spike, and then they dumped it on the retail traders. And they were, what we discovered was that HKD is a part of the World Econ Forum and the Great Reset. So off of this play, the richer just got richer, and a few people who might have got in this, which it wasn't even on scanners hardly until this big pop. A few people might have made some money on this besides the big institutions, but overall I'd say a lot of retail traders who didn't get to catch that video probably got ate up a little bit on this. So could this play try to go up again? I don't know. This is a play I do not want to mess with because it is it's the World Econ Forum who is doing this. Clearly, it's HKD, AMTD are right on their partner list if you didn't watch that video. So we need to see it break over this downtrend if you do want to mess with this crazy nonsense. But it does look like it's probably going to dump some more. Probably all the way down to 100 is what I would kind of expect before it might slow down on the sell-off. But I'm keeping it on watch just because I like to know what the World Econ Forum's doing. They're watching us. I'm watching them. Same time. Okay, so Veru, this is one. Yeah, maybe. If it keeps holding this uptrend this week, we could see a potential pop somewhere. Volume is not that big. Mara, of course, that's probably one of the top crypto stock watches. Mara has the largest Bitcoin holdings of the Bitcoin mining companies like Mara and Riot. BTCS is not, for clarification, a Bitcoin mining company at all. They do not mine. They are a node validator, which is something entirely different and a pretty amazing business model. But look at this rip on Coinbase. Oh my goodness. Everybody was saying it was the end of the Coinbase. You guys remember what was that back to the beginning of May when this all happened? That whole crypto crash because of Luna UST. I told everybody that was way too much selling for one little project to get blown ass up, which not surprising to see a stable coin project get blown up because, as I said before, when you are trying to make a stable coin in cryptos, if it's backed off of the US dollar, we know that the US dollar, by looking at the US dollar index, has been on a 60-year downtrend. So how the hell can you make a stable coin off of a fiat currency that is not stable itself? You can't. It makes no sense, and that's why I hate stable coins in the first place. But anyway, we can see, all that crying and everything, the end of the world, cryptos, the sky is falling, and Coinbase is already back up, pushing up over $100. And we actually have, and would be careful with this pattern because we are really high up, but on this hour chart, we do have an inverse head and shoulders forming right off of that previous channel right here. But more than likely, I would like to see it pull back to the channel. Well, I don't know. This is, it's going to have to basically just re-break 100. It tried to re-break 100 already this morning, shot up to 103. But inverse head and shoulders, first test broke over 100, pulled back under it. Second test, rejection, making this inverse head and shoulders head. And then right now, third test. So this test is going to be pretty important because we can see on this daily chart, if it does not break up out of this today, it could come back down to that 85 line there, and this inverse head and shoulders would be ruined. Our uptrend, we're way off of our uptrend. Our uptrend would be something like right there. So, okay, Planet 13, marijuana stock, one of my main watches, doing good. Amazon gapping up, very nice. Amazon all the way to 140. So that buying off of this quadruple bottom here of $100 on Amazon, if you did that, you were sitting pretty good on that position. This looks like garbage. I don't know what that is. Oh, I think that was an IPO or something last week. That looks like garbage. How's SIGA doing? SIGA, man, monkeypox. People are getting scared, building higher lows and higher highs. We just hit a new high. So we did see, about SIGA that there's already 2 monkeypox vaccines that's been out, one since 2015, one since 2017. The World Health, or was it the World Health Organization? I think it was them, who claimed that they did not need those vaccines, and that's when we saw that big dip in SIGA, but it actually hasn't mattered. Just the effects of the whole monkeypox from the news is still making this thing run, which means GovX. No, GovX is still holding down that $3. Something's wrong with that one. H has been saying the same thing. He's been saying there's something wrong with GovX. So we have no news other than yesterday they are seeking FDA approval. But again, if you watch that video, then they're most likely not going to get that FDA approval with 2 other vaccines out, which are owned by Big Pharma, and Big Pharma owns the FDA. So we'll see. It's good momentum. And you can see that inverse head and shoulders where I called SIGA out. I'm sorry, it wasn't me who called SIGA out. It was H who called SIGA out way back here. I just wrote that inverse head and shoulders. So if you did get this thing, man, you've made a killing off of it. VRAX, that is another. That just looks like chaos, even with my lines drawn. There's that GovX play. Today, yeah, it's got a downtrend. It's just, kind of all over the place. Let me delete some of these lines because. So your uptrend, oops, forgot I changed it to that circle. Your uptrend, it would be something like that. So, yeah, GovX is under the uptrend. Looks like it is, and you got that downtrend right there. Looks like it may pull back to that 200-day, maybe even $2. A lot of congestion right through here. Previous support and resistance, so that may try to hold up. We'll keep it on watch to see. PGY was a big runner. By the way, I need to shout out Lori for her call on HKD. She called out HKD before it started ripping. PGY she called out before it started ripping. Just huge rips, Lori. I don't know what has gotten into you. If you found a magical potion or something, but girl, you have had some fire calls. I mean fire. As soon as I see a ticker symbol pop up in the chat from you, my nipples just burst into flames. I'm like, woo! Lori's talking. All right. Now, we went through the watch list. Let's see what is actually going on. So top 10% gainers list, we got some type of crazy nonsense here. No volume stock. All of a sudden gapping up. It does have volume on it. But this big gap up, I mean, if you're looking for a day trade on this, you're trading up here when you have all this distance at least to there to fall back to. And we're like, right, that little distance up to the chart. It's nothing I would touch. KRTX up 200 and it was up 70%. Huge gap up there, $100 gap up. What's the float on this? 30 million shares. See, they got trial data, Q2 earnings as well coming out. Okay, so that schizophrenia is actually a pretty big thing nowadays. I mean, it probably always has been. But there's definitely a lot of people that this could help, which means that there's a lot of money to be made. Okay, so this was phase 3 data. So phase 3 data is important data. Okay, phase 1, phase 2, as I've said before, I don't care. Phase 3 means that they are very close to the FDA approval and they met all their endpoints and their secondary endpoints. So that's why this thing gapped up $100. More than likely, they're going to get approval on this. But this wasn't in the beginning a little biotech stock. You know, this thing's been up around $100. Let's see. Good morning, GD. Good morning, Donnell. Don't know what Daniel B is talking about. You read the white papers. Well, those white papers are out of date, so you'll need to wait to for the updated Framework Fortune Project white papers because we changed that. Rudy, what's up, buddy? There's Reliable Rudy. If you guys haven't yet, go subscribe to his channel. Putting out content left and right. You're going to make a part 2 for your AOS video, then you'll tune in. All right, sounds good. Here, let me drop the link here for And Daniel B, you should be more concerned with the DLA DAO right now, not the Framework Fortune project that's not even launched yet. It's in light development. But the other Framework Fortune Community Project DLA DAO, well, we're only 2 weeks in, and that DAO has now got a value of close to $5,000. And if you want to know how to value it, well, you just can go look at our positions and see all of the positions that we own so far and how much we are generating in revenue from those positions. But like I said, I want to talk about the DLA DAO later. Let's not get into that right now. Because there is an airdrop that I'm going to drop here today on the live stream for people to get some of those DLA tokens to start staking and earn that APR, as well as the other perks, governance, and all the perks of being a member of the DLA DAO, the first cross-chain NFT acquisition DAO. First of its kind, multi-chain assets. Woo! Woo! But let's not get into that right now. Like I said, ILG, hold on, what's CLINC about? Another big gap up, but got a lot of selling pressure. Looks like they reported some earnings. They had phase 2 that met primary endpoints. So basically, with the NQ ripping, everything has been ripping. You know, going. Let's see, where's the NQ at? You know, this uptrend has brought a lot of value back into, or a lot of value back into the NASDAQ, back into all these stocks. But we are right against the downtrend in the 200 days, so I'm thinking this little bull run on the NASDAQ is just about over. But we'll see. You know, the Feds went soft, and we don't have really much other data coming out. I mean, we know what the data is. It's garbage. There's nothing good happening. Other than oil come down to 90, but everybody who's getting excited about, oh, oil's coming down, we may get, cheaper gas prices. Don't be surprised if that's only short-lived. We will see. But already buying pressure actually on this daily chart, triple bottom right across here at that 85 area. Looking back on oil, that is close to this previous top right here of 85. So a lot of support right below that area at 85. And that's actually where it dipped down to. And then our downtrend is right there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, oil could easily, $100 is the main breakout point again, just like it was last time. But, we're very close. If oil starts to push back up to 100 and breaks 100, and gas prices aren't going down. And inflation is not going down, so I don't see why gas prices would go down unless I didn't hear anything major from the OPEC news last week. So maybe we'll go look for that in a little bit, see what we can find. Gold and silver, however, they've been shooting back up as well. Gold actually just breaking that downtrend. But anyway, let's get back into the stocks. I just got distracted there. Let's see. This is High Floats, VTRS, Carnival Cruise Lines, Snapchat. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about Snapchat after that big sell-off. So you do have a gap to fill. Basically 1120, which it's real close to. Yeah, and then the resistance here is off of 12. So there's a whole dollar basically gap to fill if this thing can break back up over that 11-ish. What is that? 1120, that's what I said. So this could be one to keep on watch if you like a higher float like Snapchat. But I just want to point this out real quick. This here looks like it could be a possible inverse head and shoulders. Right, shoulder, head, shoulder. And it did have a small breakout, but it ran right into that 50-day moving average. So even though you get inverse head and shoulders, not all of them are going to break. You know, they might get a little push up, they might get a big push up, but it depends, you know, how many ceilings are above it. How many ceilings do we have to go through for this thing to move? You know, if not, if there's a bunch of ceilings, we're just going to keep running into it. Just bouncing, just like knocking our heads off the wall. Hey, there's Lori. 10 billion tokens is not the DLA Dow. Daniel B. If you want to go take a look at the DLA Dow, there you go, bud. Whoops. You're trying to evaluate a project that has no value. The Framework Fortune project is in light development. There's literally no value in that project yet. That's obvious. I mean, why would there be value in a project that's not even on the market or promoting yet? Because the supply of DLA tokens is 200 million. That's the supply of the DLA Dow. But Lori, I was just talking about you earlier in your crazy calls that you've been calling out, these big runners. You've been on fire. I was just shouting you out for that. All right. So with, yeah, of course. So with gold and stuff coming back up, you can see a lot of metal stocks have popped up. Yeah. Silver actually rebounded quicker than gold, I was noticing. All right, let's get in these low floats. Let's see if there's any other top gainers I need to look at. Let's go by volume. BBBY, the gap up, smashing right in that 200-day, getting rejected hard. It's Bed Bath & Beyond. In a recession where people are tight on money, unless you can eat bath bombs, well, I guess you can eat bath salts, but I don't think that's nutritious for you during a recession. But I don't see Bed Bath & Beyond doing very well during a recession. I mean, they've had this nice push back up, but, you know, clear, strong rejection off that 200 and this previous support line. And again, it's Bed Bath & Beyond, so I don't know how. Now, iLag only 18 million, and this was one I thought we were watching last week a little bit. This is a newer IPO. It's actually pushing that 200-day. Let's look at this 1-hour chart real quick. We got an uptrend on it. This may be one to keep an eye on for a play today. I'm going to, what is it up? 60%? Yeah, it's not up terribly high, but it is up. That looks like crap. At KRTX. That's the schizophrenia one. But that one's way high price. Not the type of trade I like. Too much capital to put in that. That's interesting. 38 million shares. What is LVU? Lulu? Is this Lululemon? Lulu's Fashion? So, I mean, there is a possible bullish engulfing candle here. 15 minutes. Actually, I think 45 minutes on this candle. Close on the 1 hour. Lululemon, I don't know. I don't know. It does have a small float, so that is something interesting to look at. All below all indicators. Yeah, this is pretty much dependent on the NASDAQ, I believe. Goldman Sachs adjusted their price target to $10 from $14. So that's not even really, there's no news on that. We'll keep an eye on it just in case. SRGA. And very low float, only 6 million. I'm going to put this on watch just because there's only 6 million in shares. And we'll see what it does. That looks like another IPO. Very light volume. God, Jesus. These huge rips. And I've been saying this for a while. This whole year and pretty much last year, we have not had these type of massive rips on a daily basis like we're getting right now. But in my years of trading, towards the end of the year is normally when we see these big type of crazy moves. It's usually not at the beginning. It's as Q3 is starting to wind down and we're starting to get into Q4. So if my prediction of the Fed's reversing course and dropping interest rates back down to zero in October and starting up the money printer again, the QE, I believe, well, the money printer never stops in America, but they'll kick it in high gear, then I believe we could see a continuation bull run, one last bull run before we drop. So it's going to be interesting, but we could keep this hot market going for the rest of the year. It is a possibility. I've seen these type of hot markets in this type of volatile times previously. This time of year, get nasty, get crazy, get frisky, get sassy. Just, stick to your plan. If you stick to your plan and it's working, it's been working this past 2 years, then it should work perfectly fine in massive run markets like this. I mean, just looking at that top 10% NASDAQ gainer list, we got 86%, 70%, 67%, 50%, and the day just started. So let's check the low float scanner. Here's that BNSO. That's that one I said way too high up. Way too high up. You can see that's clearly selling off. And actually, if it cracks 850, it could drop all the way back down to 565 in a second because this is so low float and there's no previous support or anything all the way back through this gap up. So if this thing does start really crashing, it could get nasty. So I don't like that one. HILBZ, 95 million in volume. This is kind of an HH play here. 40 million shares though. I don't know about that. We'll keep it on watch. We'll put it on the watch list for now. ILAG, we went over. That's one, like I said. Oh, that's actually testing $6 right now, so that might actually start ripping. And if it breaks $6 here and can hold $6, I mean, there's no resistance other than $10, which is the next hold number. The next big resistance line. I mean, it could get stopped at 7, 750, 8, whatever. But 10 is the next major area. So ILAG, I think, may be one to watch today. Keep a very close eye. TOMZ, this one is actually above all the indicators, which is good. We're running into all of this previous congestion through this little time period and through this time period. I believe that was that one. It is making a bull. That's that one with that bullish engulfing candle, possibly. I don't mind it because it is above the 200. 125 is where the 200's at. We got a little flatness going on at 145. Yeah, so this is basically testing 150 right now. If it continues to hold 145, 27 million in volume. We'll put it on the watch list. Don't like that. Pets always gives its gains back. You just see all these rips, spikes, and it just dumps right after, so it's one I would avoid. I mean, when you see on the past chart history, tons of upper wicks, all of that stuff, just chaos, big rips, then big dumps, and then like these wicks here, like I was talking about. Maybe you can get a quick scalp off of these trades, like off of charts like this. It does just have an uptrend, but Pets is one of those ones where I just don't like it. Ear, I haven't seen Ear in a while. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Ears is the one I'm used to. It's a pharma company. This is Ear. 39 million shares. Of course, I need to mention, though, Pets is only 6 million in volume, so that is why you see those extra wicks and stuff like that. So I don't like anything there. Let's look the day trade above the scanner. BNSO we looked at. we looked at. KRTX. That's the crazy big runner. I think we've looked at all these. CYBI, another crazy. Oh, looks like that's an acquisition, so nothing there. RYTM, this thing is at a big point, big resistance line at 25, so I'm not going to keep an eye on that. It's more likely going to come down. Okay, and that's about it. So I don't see much else going on. Well, we got a couple of pot stocks. Like I said, Planet 13 was up some. We've got Canopy Growth shooting up from 275 to 323. AMRS, that one pushing up. Let's see the index. Yeah, the marijuana. Okay, interesting. So finally, after I don't know how many years, 2 years, 3 years. Actually, let's just go look at a weekly and see. It's been some years since, yeah, let's see, what is that? 2021 was the last big spike. But basically, right through here, I mean, this is all artificial. On every single stock in the stock market from here. Well, if I could draw this oval the way I want to. From here. All right. There we go. So, let's see if I can make this work. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. There we go. Come on, you can do it. There we go. I was pep talking myself. Sometimes I got to do that. So, right here is 2020. This was the 2020 little dip. And then, of course, we had ultimate QE, money printing, asset buying from the feds like crazy. So on this YOLO ETF over the pot stocks, all the way up until this point, the beginning of this year, this is when the Fed stopped buying and started selling. So all of this run from 2021, from 2020 to 2022, the beginning on everything has been super, super artificial. So that's something to keep in mind. Of course, if you're just day trading, scalping, you really don't care. But for those longer term swingers and stuff, like this same thing is going to be the case on everything. If I go to the NASDAQ at that same time, you're going to see exactly the same thing. So NASDAQ's right here. Let's see, we need to go back a little further. Right here, 2020, there's the dip. And then here's our same circle of artificial inflation to the stock market. QE. Same thing. You'll see that on just about every single stock. And that's what happens when the feds get involved with nonsense like this with QE and money printing. But right from the beginning of 2020 to the beginning of 2022. False runs, lies, fake money. And that's why we're seeing the market crash. And that's why I was able to predict the market was going to crash up here at this top off of this double top. Because simply enough, we knew that what the feds were doing, they told us what they were doing during that time period. And then they told us at the beginning of this year that they are stopping. So, pretty simple. All right. Now let's see if we can actually see any type of trades forming. ASUT is a gold stock. I think I've got that on my gold watch list. I'm going to just take that off here for now so it's not distracting. Let's see. One Life had a bunch of stuff, he said, and then he retracted it all. Don't know what trash or if he was telling me how pretty I look today, but either way, good morning, One Life. Good morning, Stocks and Chomps, best Robin Williams voice. Donnell, ILE. See, I hate these I's. ILAG. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful rip off of that trend line. So let's go ahead and get back into an hour chart here. And then we'll get into a 15-minute chart here so we can see. Beautiful rip. Breaking right over that pre-market high. Actually, that's after hours high. But beautiful, beautiful. Donnell, did you get a scalp on this? There we go. I was wondering why my volume was up in the chart. I'm like, what is that? That doesn't look right. Is it halted? Oh, yeah, it just got halted. Interesting. Well, damn. If I was a little bit early to analyzing that, that would have been a great entry off of that trend line. Excuse me. Was I talking on? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so you got it earlier. Nice 41 cents. Nice scalp. But beautiful break. Now remember, I started with the daily chart analyzing. You know, I didn't start with the 5 or 15 minute or nothing. I was looking at this daily chart, and all I said is if it breaks 6 here, you know, we have no root or we have no resistance up till whatever. And you see it's coming out of this halt up to 728. Beautiful rip. Beautiful, beautiful. So if anybody got this, Donnell, yeah, I saw you got it, but anybody else, good job. Donnell, you've been on fire too, man. You, HH, Lori, Stonks and Chomps. Those are the people I know calling things out and have been trading. You guys have been on fire right along with HH Trader. HH has been on a tear lately. That man has been a sharpshooter with his scalping strategy. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. The whole Framework Fortune community working together, learning together, and making some money. It doesn't get more prettier than that. It doesn't get more beautifuler than that. Any other words, adjectives that I can ruin, that is what I'm meaning. Okay, here. Oh yeah, let's drop Reliable Rudy's channel in here. If you guys who haven't checked out Reliable Rudy yet. Yeah, nice little pullback there off of that halt. I mean, we just ripped, you know, what, $2 on a $5 stock. So that was a nice rip. So, of course, there's going to be selling pressure. I mean, the uptrend started down here, so anybody who was getting in at 4.30, something like that, and they held it all the way up, you know, that's a $3 rip. So definitely selling pressure. But look at this buying volume. My God. That buying volume coming in on these last few candles. All up close to 10 million a candle. Yeah, I think this is the play to watch right now. And maybe the rest of the day, like I was saying earlier. Let me check. Because like I said, cryptos, yeah. So we can already see this time of day, usually from about this time till about 3, cryptos just slow down in general anyway. So we can see where Bitcoin is currently getting rejected. We'll go into an hour chart because we are at very close resistance areas. But yeah, you can see the last 5 hours, Bitcoin was getting rejected right there and now starting to build a lower low. So it's probably going to start coming down for the time being. Same thing with Ethereum. You can see it pull back here just in this past hour, this big pullback. And more than likely, we flip back over to the NASDAQ. The NQ is going to be looking the same exact way. Yeah, same time, same pullback. And that was a strong rejection off of there, too. Off that 200 day. I will be pretty surprised if we break 13.5 in this downtrend. The overall downtrend on the NASDAQ, if we break that this week. I don't think we're going to get through this. That's two. That I mean, it's two different confirmations of major resistance, major resistance on this hour chart or on the daily chart. The same on the hour chart, but so yeah, I would probably stay away from that. Now that this is ripped over 6 though, there is going like that 200-day moving average is now, which there's not even 200 days. So it's not going to be that accurate. That's why kind of all the EMAs are together. But still, people are going to look at it, and it is the bottom of this candle right there. And if you look, let me draw this line straight across here, the bottom of that candle, that's at that $6 area. That's exactly where we are getting rejected at. Draw, fool. Oh, I'm still in the ovals. Come on. There we go. Bada boom. I mean, the 200-day is almost there, but like I said, it's not going to be quite accurate because we just don't have that much days to make it accurate. Bam, there we go. So if this can hold, we do have an uptrend pushing up. It's going to need to hold $6 as new support, and if it can do that, then we could possibly see another rip up. What was this? What was the news on this? I forgot what the... Oh, we don't have any news. It's just the IPO. That's it. The IPOs have been hot. So now, if for some reason the Bitcoin and Ethereum or whatever don't... You see, we're kind of cracking down to that head and shoulders at the minute. Well, this is the 15-minute chart, so we'll see. But if they don't break down, if they continue to hold up and start pushing again, and we definitely could see some action, especially if Coinbase starts holding over $100. Okay, so let's check those couple other plays. HLBZ. May be possible for a quick scalp. You do have a little bounce happening, a little double bottom right here off of this uptrend. You may be able to get it up to 140. There's that flat top. If it can break 140, then it's going to run into 150 next as resistance. But if it can get through 150, see right there's 150. It's got room up to $2. So potential play there if it can continue on that uptrend. Especially if this candle confirms that uptrend. Let's take a look on the hour chart. Yeah, okay. So on the hour chart, we can see that the overall uptrend is right there. And it's $1.25. Or $1.15, so actually right around here. But you do want to go first. You want to go off this daily uptrend or this intraday uptrend. If this intraday uptrend cracks, then that's when we'll see it down to $1. Already bouncing a little bit there off of 125, off this double bottom here. See, ILAG still holding over that line. And this candle's got 10 minutes to confirm. So if this 15 minute, and you can see buying pressure off of that line at the same time already. That 15 minute can close and push up some. It's a double top right now on this 15 minute because of these bodies. So that's a little sketchy. But it is trying to hold that $6 area. Let's pop back over the HLBZ play. Because that play is, you kind of got to wait a little bit on ILAG at the moment. But this play here is starting to look like it might at least get that little push to 140. Let's see. Pop Squash, what's up, my friend? HLBZ, $40 price target. Looks ready to explode now. Let's see what HLB... Oh, that's what I'm looking at right now. So it's got a $40 price target. Where did you see that at? Or is that your price target for it is $40? I mean, the thing is this the... Oh, I see what you're saying. There's a lot of resistance it's got to get through to get all the way up to that $40 mark. I mean, a whole lot. I was talking about this play as a little, 10, 15 cent scalp, maybe a quarter scalp, because it is only $1. Because I don't think it's going to just blow right through this resistance right here. But, I mean, we're nowhere close to that. I will stream with pasties on my nipples if this thing goes to $40 in the next week. Just shirtless, all the chest tear out, and just pasties on my nipple. I will do little pasties that spin too. So anytime somebody hits the like button, I'll spin them. How about how about that deal? Yeah, I there's no way. I mean, well, I never like to say anything's impossible in any assets or trading. There's always a possibility of stuff, but that is a very, very, very high, far-fetched price target. I mean, we got to get through $2 first. Well, actually, we got to get through $1.40 right now today first. We're struggling at $1.40, $1.50, and your price target's at $41. Phew. Now, if you know something we don't know, some type of PR or something about this company, because I've not done any research on it, I don't even know what it is. LBZ, Hellbiz gets licensed to operate e-scooters. So, they have e-scooters. It was a partnership with Logan City's Council in Queensland has approved 12 months license to operate. Come back up here. To operate up to 400 scooters and 400 bikes. Let's check this out real quick. Let's take a look at this Hillbiz. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the kitchen is about. Is that for delivery drivers? Look at these bikes. And scooters. You are publicly listed on the NASDAQ. You're very proud of that. This graphic is garbage, though. I could have made that for you in 3 minutes look a little bit better. Hold on. Okay, what is this nonsense? Feel the wind in your hair as you grab a scooter or a bike or whatever and zoom through your city or satisfy your cravings with a selection of pizza and stuff like that delivered directly to your house as you turn on your TV. Now, you're supposed to be a public company. Well, we are on just the website. This is not the investor presentation, but God, this is awful. This is awful graphics. We change how people and things move and interact with each other. I mean, yeah, how many people are you going to get on scooters? I know these scooters rent out a lot in Milwaukee. It's not the same company. It's like Green Go or something like that. But I see people flying around those scooters all the time. And see, this is an Australian company, so that is one thing interesting about it, is it is outside of the U.S., I'm pretty sure. Let's see. From what I saw on that press release, okay, there's a couple things wrong with this picture. Why is this guy photoshopped in? This fellow is clearly photoshopped in. This is not, like, was there just a space there and they're like, let's just put a random model guy. Let's just Google random model guy and stick him in here. And this is their NASDAQ picture. Like, this CEO has his kid right here who has no idea what's going on. I'm sure he was, like, freaked out with all this stuff going on. And then we have a... Look. You can see from her eyes. His photo crop and being cropped in. and her eyes where she was looking, she would not have been able to see anything. She would have been looking directly into his ear hole. That's sketchy. Why are they photoshopping? Matter of fact, I don't like that. I was already complaining about the graphics of this website, but that right there, guys, that right there is unbelievably crazy. This is a publicly listed NASDAQ company. Right on their website, they have this nonsense. Like, they should have put a celebrity in there. Like, it'd have been better if it had been like just like Carrot Top or some like random celebrity randomly put in there. But that's why you gotta go look at the websites. You know, a lot of people like to evaluate stuff certain ways, but always just look at the website. Just look at the website and you can see if the company's full of crap or not. Obviously, they're full of crap. They're willing to Photoshop of. Wow. Not very professional at all, Rudy. Exactly. It looks like they posed with a cardboard cutout. Yeah. Yeah. Daniel B. Real Man's riding a horse. Well, technically, riding a horse, I would think, would be more carbon friendly and better for the environment than a scooter. You know, that's one of the things with like technological advancements and stuff. HLBZ is getting rejected here at that 135. That candle still got a few minutes, but like, we're to the point in our global society where most of the academics have become so smart that they're no longer smart. They reverted into idiots. So like, if you're wanting to, like Daniel B just made a great point. If your whole point is to stop, if you want to stop global warming, stop making electronic devices and use what the nature is. Use the nature like humans have done throughout the entire history of humans. An electric bike you got to charge. A horse you can feed and you can water. Maybe the bike is a little cheaper, but then what's the sturdiness? I mean, if they photoshopped a picture, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that their bikes are probably not the strongest built machinery out there. You know, if they'll Photoshop a picture, they might just like duct tape a part in there. So a horse is also going to be way more durable in the long term than a little electronic scooter. I have an iRobot vacuum cleaner, and it's great, but is the iRobot better than me taking and pouring gasoline on my floor and catching it on fire? No. That's a very, very extreme. But I think you guys get the point I'm saying with HPLZ. Just looking at that though, even with this pattern, I mean, scalps, if you want to try to take that, quick ones in and outs. But as far as that $41 price target, you ain't getting the $41 with a pop-up of Liam Neeson, a cardboard cutout of Liam Neeson in your picture. It's not Liam Neeson. I was trying to think of the Patrick, what's that guy's name from? Was he on? The guy who played Doogie Howser. I can't think of his name right now. That's who it looked like. Patrick something. Y'all let me know in the chat. Let's see. NIO is still holding over 20. ILAG pulling back. Well, we're still holding at 6 on ILAG. So ILAG still could be a play. There could be multiple plays. Real quick, I'm going to take a break because we're like, let's see, what are we in here on the stream? I've been analyzing these charts for a minute. Yeah, we're right at that hour mark. So I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll keep an eye on HLBZ, ILAG. We'll check and see if there's anything else that might have some potential. And then we'll get into the NASDAQ news and do one of my hot news take segments that I'll be able to post later. And we'll see. We'll see what happens to that news. But I'll be right back. Give me just a second. In the meantime, if you haven't yet, while you're waiting on me, If you've not subbed to HH Trader, Patrick Swayze. No, not Patrick Swayze, you old man. Well, maybe young Patrick Swayze. But in the meantime, go hit up and subscribe. YouTube, HH Trader. He's not live streaming this morning, but he shall be back tomorrow. And then Reliable Rudy, our other newest media network partner. He's dropping videos almost every single day. Bada boom. Yep, One Life. I figured since you've been saying that all I do is hot takes for so long, that I would just do what you hate the most and do hot takes and not trade whatsoever, just to spite you, buddy. That's all I did it for. That's the only reason. It's not because Juno is going on over here where I've been in the crypto market or nothing or anything like that. HH Trader went to hunt gators around his house. It's funny you say that. He called me the other day right before we were getting on Discord to start going over some things for the Dow and the Framework Fortune Discord, and he had been outside mowing, and I guess he hit a hole of yellow jackets. So he was actually at war with yellow jackets. There's no telling, man. Where he lives out there in Mississippi, there may be gators, there may be a Sasquatch. I mean, you don't know. You might be out there looking in that swamp, and Rosie O'Donnell might come up out of that pond just. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to take that quick break. Bada bing. One Life, why do you keep retracting all your messages, man? Like it's weird. It's a weird thing to do. Like I was gone and you said some things and then I come back and whatever you said you took back. It's just strange. HLBs, look at that. Beautiful pop. 145. Guys, come on. Come on. Did anybody get this? Off of this triple bottom here. Off of the trend line bounce. Get that little 15-cent scalp on this dollar stock. Beautiful. That's what I was talking about for a scalp. Nothing else, because remember, cardboard pop-outs. Alright. ILAG just opened up. Let me go into this hour chart, because I have two different aggregations, as I've been saying. So on this hour chart, well, this is the 15-minute chart. On this hour chart, though, we're starting to kind of double top. So that may be a concern, but we're still holding 6 and we're still above this uptrend. HLBZ still pushing at 140. Let's watch it for a minute. Maybe it's going to try to break 150. It did test once. It looks like it wants to try to test again. But we got to get to that 140 first. You can see all on the level 2. All these orders sitting there. Let's open up our time and sales a little bit. Ooh, there was a huge order that came in there at 140. Yeah, so that 140 is still holding strong resistance. So I said it'd be a quick scalp off of this triple bottom off of the trend line there. Yeah, man. H started out as a viewer of the channel before he started his channel, and for a good while there, he learned everything not to do from me. So, I'll take credit for that. There's that TOMZ. Look at that, just head and shoulders pattern. Looks like shoulder, head. Other shoulder looks like it's probably going to dump, so nothing on that. SGRA, possible uptrend. Bounce, maybe. This is that 6 million one, isn't it? Yeah, 6 million. So it ain't going to take, there's only 668,000 volume, so very low volume. But it wouldn't take a lot of, there's a 9-cent spread. Wow, look at that. 10-cent spread. So that may be a little scalp bouncer. It just needs to confirm this candle holding up first. If I was going to get in it right here, then I risk the chance that it does not continue up this trend line. It could crack. We do have a little bit of a double bottom kind of on the trend line, but I'd like to see the third candle open up and push up over the 550 area. 550 is acting as a little resistance. HLBZ still getting knocked down. What is Lululemon doing? Oh, you got a McDonald's arch right across there, double top. I'm just going to go ahead and take that off the watch list anyway because it's Lululemon and who cares. ILG getting another little push back up. Okay, so on this hour chart, look at this. Nice buying volume pushing this candle off of the trend line. If we re-break 640, the top of the body of this candle right here, then we could see another test of 650 here real soon. Actually, we don't even need to break 640 because we're actually already, well, yeah, we do, because that's where both the tops of these candles are. We need to break 640, hold 640 as support, and then see a nice rip through 650. The float is 18 million, so it could happen pretty fast. See, Coinbase at 95. Here it goes. Trying to get up there. Here comes the test of 650. And looking like not a lot of resistance there. Let's see if it can break here. Looking like a bullish engulfing candle. Big green body candle over this previous red candle engulfing the whole thing. Oh, nope. Rejection off of that touch. See 650 again. Come on, let's see that 650 again. Getting close, 648. They're getting taken out. Bam! Look at that rip. Right up to 660, right through 650. That's what I was saying. It might be pretty quick. Bids starting to build at 650. Breaking over 660 with the bids. See if bids start holding at 660. Oh, nope, still not able to hold that 650 yet. We just lost it as support. But that was a nice quick pop. You know, from that 650, or if you got in like maybe 640 up to 671, 30-something cent pop in like half a second. Beautiful rip there. Be a beautiful quick pop there. Still could go. You know, it's still above that $6 area, but clearly 640, 650 is major resistance. So we got rejected again. And we've actually pulled back below the 640 on this candle, making this candle no longer a bullish engulfing candle on the hour chart. So still, I don't know, with it being on the uptrend and the type of volume it's getting right now, we may see it try. I don't know though. It's still selling pressure. Let me check the NQ real quick. Let's see what it's doing. Oh, NQ is, oh boy, look at that. The NQ is eating it. Big rejection off of that 13.5 area so far. NQ down $219 on the day in the last 3 hours. So that is pulling everything down. If I go through this list, yep, same pattern almost looking there. Besides HLBZ, Tom's is coming down. The SRGA, that one, is that the one we were just watching? No, we were watching ILAG. Oh, that's that one that's starting to form that little possible play. But ILAG, since the NASDAQ started crashing, well, I won't say crashing, but pulling back. We're seeing that pull back right here at that resistance area at the same time. Yeah, Smith & Wesson selling off. BKKT selling off at the moment. HKD, no volume hardly on this at all today. 19,000 in volume, just checks. Just little checks there, nothing crazy. Yeah, Mara, that's what I was saying. We were hitting those. We'd already kind of went on that crypto rebound run over the weekend, so I kind of expected these all to sell off today. So I was not really looking at them. HLBZ still hanging in there. So right now the three plays that I see are ILAG, SRGA, and HLBZ, even though I don't like HLBZ's company. But for a scalp or something like that, you know, if it's uptrending, it's uptrending. All right. Everything is dull. What are you talking about everything's dull? I've just called out 2 different scalp plays where they've been perfect little scalp entries. And those are cheap boys. Both of them are cheap boys. You got all that money. You took $2,000 on that HLBZ bounce here from 130 up to 145, 15 cents on 2,000 shares. That's $300. And you saying everything's dull? And then ILAG just ripped. ILG just had that nice pop from $6 to all the way up to $6.62, $6.66. You know, well, not $6. Well, yeah, it was $6. So 65 cent rip on that one. And both of them in the span of a couple of seconds. But everything else, the reason why everything is dull is because y'all look at the large caps, and the large caps are heavily affected by the NASDAQ. So, of course, they're going to be selling off. Really quick, I want to check and see, though. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, Ethereum did have a dump down, but got immediately bought up off that 50-day. What's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, so Bitcoin having a pullback as well. Still off of that 2,400. No big deal there. And we still got Solana looking pretty good. Still holding that 40 area. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, well, while we're waiting here, let's see if we got any one of these close to breaking out again. ILAG, okay, that candle just closed, so let's see. Let's keep an eye on the ILAG, and then we'll get into the news, and then we'll talk about the DLA Dow. If you guys are interested in getting in that, there's an airdrop live, and I will put that here in the description or in the chat, in the live chat here in just a few minutes. Okay, so that's still getting rejected. I'm just yeah, I don't like the way Tom's is downtrending. It is coming down into those. Let me see this on the daily again. 19 million shares. I'm gonna leave it. Oh yeah, that's why I put it on the watch list, because it's above all EMAs. So maybe later today or tomorrow we might can see that possibly be a play. HLBZ starting to give it up, cracking that trend line. So that play's starting to give up. SRGA, look at that, look at that, third call out in a row. SRGA. That third candle opening up 550, pushing up to 566. Now it is going to run into some resistance. That's why I said I wanted to see this candle move up like it is, but we need to see it hold. We don't want to see it dump. Okay. Just let me go through the NASDAQ news really quick, because I want to see what's happening here real quick, because something may be going on. That's garbage. The MW surging stock market's on the verge of signaling a huge move, but there's a catch. Yeah, more than likely it's going to be moving down to the bottom. U.S. Treasury sanctions crypto mixer Tornado Cash, saying it was used to launder $7 billion in digital assets since 2019. Oh, well, I mean, it allowed users to conduct private crypto transactions. Hold on a second. As a result, Tornado Cash's property and interest property in the U.S. will be blocked. The platform has been used worth the whole $7 billion, $45 million stolen by the Lazarus Group, a North Korean state-sponsored hacking group. It was used to launder more money to hack in the hack on Harmony's blockchain, and then exploit against Nomad Bridge earlier this month. So this is actually very interesting. I thought this was going to be an attack on crypto from the U.S. Treasury, and it wasn't. They actually found a bad character and got them out of the market that was hacking other chains and doing a lot of hoodooing. So this is the first time, maybe ever, on this live stream, on this channel, on any of my channels, that I may say this. But good job, U.S. Treasury. Nice. The government actually doing something for once that may be good. Now, I don't know the whole story behind this, so this still could be a bunch of BS. But from what it looks like, it looks like they were trying to kind of defend Harmony One and these other projects. So that's actually interesting. And that is one of the things I've been saying is the only possibility that I see the United States pulls out of this massive currency crash, this massive stock market crash, this massive housing market crash, this nasty recession, everything that's going on. The only way I see, the way I've been saying that they could get out of it, if the U.S. government goes full bull crypto and just lets the United States take the reins of the whole crypto sector against the rest of the world who doesn't want to do it. We already have South America who's definitely on board. Most of those countries are already delving into crypto, putting out projects, all of that. the United States can do it this way, if they get behind cryptos and back cryptos instead of trying to go against them, the U.S. could make so much money that I think we could easily pull out of this debt. And we would be the leader in the most advanced technology in the world once again. Maybe this is a little sign. Maybe it's a little sign, because I'm surprised, because I believe Janet Yellen is the Secretary of the Treasury. And I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. She's Secretary of something. But I believe it's Treasury. And the reason why I'm thinking it's Treasury is because when she got the position, whatever it was, if I'm right or not, I was thinking in my head, she doesn't know anything about economics. So this is a surprise to me. I'm a little bit surprised to see this. Okay, suddenly stock markets are, investors are wrestling with boom inflation. So now we're making up new words for inflation. That's how bad inflation's gotten. We're just making up new words for different types of inflation. Apparently, inflation is non-binary and gender neutral. All right, anyway. Well, what I keep seeing these stories lately. She's going to spend every nickel. My grandmother inherited $250,000. She promised to buy stuff for all her family. How do I stop her wasting her good fortune? First off, it's your grandma, and she's been working her entire life, and she's old. If she wants to do if she wants to go buy $250,000 worth of dope and do a rail the size of the Bristol Speedway and NASCAR, just a whole big old rail, $250,000 rail, have at it. That's that grandma's money. That ain't your money. Screw you, granddaughter. Go on somewhere. Go make your own money. Stop trying to live off of grandma. Grandma wants to party. You let grandma party. All right. Clean energy ETFs climb sharply. Okay, so Senate approved a climate bill. I've been watching a little bit about this bill. Okay, this bill targeted climate, healthcare, and taxes. And that got some, let's see, what senators passed the bill dubbed the Inflation Reduction Act on a party line vote. The Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, I need to know what they're doing here. This is important. I mean, it's past the Senate. It still has to, go through the House. More than likely, I think it has to go back to the House, and then it has to go to Biden to sign. Hopefully, they are able to get his favorite blue crayon so he can sign it. If not, it may not get passed. So, but this is all Democrat doing, so and I'm not conservative, I'm not Republican. I just don't like either. Same wings on the same bird, fly in the same direction. But I just dislike the crazy Democrats that are in control right now, because obviously they're bad at math. That's it. They're very bad at math. Leftist Democrats cannot math at all. Okay, so I'm actually going to pull this up. This is called, what was it called again? The Inflation Reduction Act. Now, of course, this might not go anywhere, right? But more than likely, since they have control of the House, Senate, and the President, then it probably will get passed. I don't know what Republicans could do. Ted Cruz a while back stood up there for hours and hours with his smug face going, I object to whatever they were trying to do, and he stopped them from doing something for a while, but it looked like some type of Broadway play. It did not look real. I don't trust Ted Cruz. The only reason I don't trust Ted Cruz is because I don't trust anybody who looks like a fat Wolverine. Inflation Reduction Act. All right. So let's see what's in this bill. Well, first, real quick, let's pop out of this, check back on these plays. HLBZ, that is cracking. SRGA got that pop all the way up to 579. Very nice on SRGA. ILAG getting rejected hard. very hard, not able to break over that and hold that that resistance there. So that's why I was saying quick scalps, quick in and outs, because this market's crazy. Okay, NQ finally slowing down a little bit on this 15-minute, but if it cracks 13.15, it may keep coming down. But let's look at this inflate. Well, I'm gonna ask you guys. Let's see. Do you guys, if you haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. But you guys want me to cover this Inflation Reduction Act real quick while it looks like nothing's really happening? I'm gonna continue on with the news until you guys tell me something. We'll keep an eye on what was that, SRGA, because it's the only thing that's still uptrending at the moment. But I'm gonna go ahead back into this NASDAQ news and finish it up, and then we'll check out that Inflation Reduction Act and see if it makes any sense. So where we were at, 10 reasons why JP Morgan says the global stock market rally. Didn't JP Morgan just say last week that we were going to be in a recession and that it was going to crash? This is why you can't trust these big institutions. And plus, if you caught the video I did a while back, JP Morgan Chase is still stuck in a losing short position on nickel. And not a little losing short position, a huge losing short position. See, this is why I'm saying I don't think we're going to break 13.5 right here. Is this nonsense here? As July's job reports cleared the way ahead for more interest rate hikes. Again, the interest rate hikes, or not the interest rate hikes, but the jobs that are coming in, we locked down the whole damn world. And there's a lot of businesses, a lot of jobs that were lost. So the jobs that are coming back now are not more jobs. They're the jobs that were gone before. That type of thinking that we are getting more job growth and the job market is strong, like the Jerome Powell has been saying, is a load of nonsense. And if they do try to go on a big rate hike like they're talking about, or they try to do a bigger rate hike, then that is going to cause issues. But, as I said on this last week, if they could do a 1-point rate hike, they would have done it. They can't. And they know that. They know that these jobs reports are fake. They know inflation is higher than what their CPI is showing. The real CPI, the original CPI measurement, is around 20%, not 9.1%. So more than likely, I highly doubt that we're going to see anything out of this, or even another rate hike. Maybe we see another rate hike, but like I've been saying, October, I think we're going to see them reverse course. Treasury curve, I don't care, but it does say something. Okay, bond yields all fell Monday. So bond yields fell. Bonds was one of the things that we do to raise money for the government and other things. But when we lend out to or when we borrow from other countries, we usually give them T-bills, which is basically a form of bond in a way, and they have to pay it back. So we have to pay that back, and that interest, let's see, what is it saying? Yeah, so the 2 and the 10-year yields narrowed to an intraday low of almost minus 43 basis points. So that means we have to pay less interest back on our debt, which is actually a good thing, but we can't take out any more debt, because why would anybody want to lend America money? First off, because of where we're at right now with all the debt we are in. But second off, if the T-bills that we are giving them in return, basically the IOUs, are not making them hardly any interest, well, then it's not worth it for any countries to actually buy those bonds and give us some money. And like I've been saying, a lot of countries have already been taking out U.S. dollars from their reserves and replacing it with other things, gold, Chinese digital yuan, all of that. So it looks like NVIDIA revenue fell. Pretty interesting. NVIDIA's revenue. Well, of course, NVIDIA, another. I don't know. I don't think NVIDIA makes chips. Do they make chips? Do they start making chips? I don't know. You guys have to let me know on that. That's been a while since I looked into what NVIDIA was doing, but I love NVIDIA's products. Let's see. Pop Squash, you talking about that $40 price target again? Some huge upcoming catalyst and insiders loading up. Can you post some type of information or something for that analysis? Because like right now you're just like putting out an opinion, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with people's opinions, but you are calling out a price target on a stock that is quite a big statement, and I would just like to see some type of analysis to back what you're saying instead of just being a statement. I mean, I would like to hear about the catalyst. Ignore Daniel B and his negativity self. All right, anyway, let me get back to this news. Stocks continue summer bounce, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're talking about the much stronger than expected U.S. jobs report. Garbage. This is not a robust labor market. And right here, recent evidence of a slowing U.S. economy. A generally well-received second quarter company. I don't know about that. A lot of companies had worse than expected earnings. I mean, we just read NVIDIA, a big company, had worse than expected earnings. Strong jobs report makes it more difficult for investors to entertain the idea the Fed will relent on its rate hike plans anytime soon. I disagree completely. It's not a strong jobs report. I already said that. Investors may have been looking, blah, blah, blah. Don't care what you got to say because you're talking crazy. Stock market, yeah, the boomflation again. Market rally. Oh, now see, this is why you got to keep reading on these things. The market rally now faces some technical challenges, argued some observers. The S&P 500 surge of late has left its 14-day relative strength index, which is the RSI, at 71 and in overbought territory. So all this fluff up here, oh, everything's sounding good and looking good, strong labor market, all that, blah, blah, blah. And then you got like, the S&P 500 is overbought. So, technically, in our opinions, everything seems good. But from a technical analysis standpoint, it's not looking that good. Oh, and the benchmark index now is eyeing resistance at 4,200 level. If that is breached, then the 200 moving average looms into view. So I don't know where the benchmark index is at, but obviously, there's way more to it than the fluff that the media is trying to put out. Economic and policy uncertainty translating into continued trade, blah, blah, blah. And that leaves open possibility of lower lows. So, of course, if the S&P 500 hits lower lows, that means that the NASDAQ would be hitting lower lows. Okay, right here, investors were assessing the implications of the massive healthcare. So they're talking about this inflation bill that they're trying to do. It's expected to win approval in a Democratic-controlled House. Like I said, probably go through the House. And it includes an extension of tax credit for purchase of EVs. So, if you're looking to switch to EV, you want to get out of paying those crazy gas prices, they have a government tax credit for the purchase of electric vehicles. Now, not only that, a lot of dealerships and states will do other types of tax credits and even I'm trying to think what the word is. I'm blanking out. But different deals and stuff like that to get people on electric cars. They want people on electric cars, so the government is incentivizing it. That's the same premise that I want them to do with cryptos. Get everybody, let the crypto market go crazy and incentivize small projects like the DLA DAO to continue and remain strong. So it looks like we probably just need to lose. This is probably good for the news, and we just need to go over that PR, over that Inflation Reduction Act real quick. So SRGA pulling back on the downtrend, TOMZ not doing anything. HLBZ, after that little sell-off, trying to push back up again, getting close to that 140 area. Once ILAG doing ILAG cracking the triangle or the uptrend. No good there. NASDAQ having a little bounce. So now that SRGA could still possibly be a play, but if they can hold up this trend line. ILAG is no longer a play at the moment until it can find some bottom support. Bottom support could be $5 probably. Yeah, $5 is where that could pull back to. Now, around $5, if things are looking bullish and it starts to get like a double bottom or triple bottom, that may be a possible play. But HLBZ, really the only thing I'm seeing at the moment. See HKD getting a little buy and pushed up to 600 there for a second. All right, let's go over this Reduction Act. To provide, okay, I need to see, I don't want to see it off of, here we go. I want to see it directly from the government, not Wikipedia. Okay, let's just read this. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 will make a historic down payment on deficit reduction to fight inflation. Invest. First, I want to know where the hell they're getting this down payment, because we ain't got any money. So that's the first question I've got automatically. Invest in domestic energy production. So they're trying to cut out oil. They're trying to make it energy, all electric and all of that, whatever, and manufacturing. And right there, reduce carbon emissions by roughly 40% by 2030. 2030. What does this sound like? What does this sound like? This is the word for word almost from the World Econ Forum. By Klaus Schwab himself, in his words, said, by 2030, you will own nothing and you will be happy. This 2030 year does not keep popping up in all these government things for no reason. There's a reason 2030 is continuing to repeat, and that is because that is the World Economics Forum timeline to finish the whole Great Reset. But anyway, the bill will also finally allow Medicare to negotiate for prescription drug prices and extend the expanded affordable... Oh, God. Now, hold on a second. You're supposed to be reducing cost, and you're saying that this expands the Affordable Care Act program for 3 more years, which is by far one of the worst government health programs any country has ever tried. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You know, it costs $20,000 to go to the hospital if you've got a hiccup. So why they're extending this, that's going to cost more taxpayer dollars, so that's not a reduction right there. That's more money spending. The new proposal for the budget bill is approximately $300 billion in deficit reduction and $369 billion in... This is not... Guys, this is not I can't even. This is not an Inflation Reduction Act. They are looking to invest $300 billion. From where? And then they're going to spend $369 billion more dollars. They're going to spend Actually it says right here, $739 billion. How does spending, if you are in debt, taking out more debt, I don't even know how they got this 739 billion, and spending more money does not get you out of debt. This is how dumb our politicians are, our government is. This Inflation Reduction Act does nothing. It does not lower. Look, so right here, enacts historic deficit to reduction to fight inflation. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You're spending money. You are not cutting money. This is not a reduction. Spending money is not a reduction. Spending more money is not a reduction. This is common sense. Allows Medicare to negotiate drug prices and caps out-of-pocket cost to $2,000. So the whole Medicare thing they're talking about, it's so good, their extension, it just allows them to negotiate the prices up to $2,000. There's medicines that cost $50,000, $100,000 a month, and this is only going to allow Medicare, the government, to negotiate up to You're the government. You can't negotiate more than $2,000. People out there, if you want universal health care, these are the idiots who would be the ones to do it. And as I said before, they can't math. They cannot. Like right here is a perfect example of why they can't math. They don't understand that spending more money does not reduce inflation. You are spending more money. This is so unbelievably crazy. This bill is nonsense, garbage, ass. I don't care what side you're on. Everybody needs to fingers crossed that this bill doesn't pass, because this bill is only going to cause inflation to go up. Like, the audacity for them to even call this inflation reduction when all they're doing is spending is unbelievable. I'm trying not to cuss. I really want to cuss at this because how stupid this is. I'm going to drop this into the live chat for you guys. Holy Jesus God, this is stupid. There you go. If you guys want to check that out. So I can tell you right now, if this is what investors are excited about, that this is somehow going to fix the economy, first off, let's do the math. We're $30 trillion in debt. The Federal Reserve is $8 trillion in debt. Even if you give them the $739 billion, that's not going to touch the interest on the debt. Right? So all they're doing, oh God, I didn't even read this corporate, let's see, a 15% corporate minimum tax. For what? Is that on top of the current corporate minimum tax? And what is a corporate minimum tax? Because I'm an LLC, I'm a limited liability company. The next step up is S corp, but I am in a corporation. Small businesses like me definitely are not gonna. You can go ahead and kiss my ass. I'm not paying another 15%. Prescription drug pricing reform, IRS tax enforcement. Oh, so they want to spend $124 billion to make sure that everybody's paying them tax dollars. That's why they're pushing this out there. They're like, oh, this is how we can make some money. Let's raise taxes on everything, and then we'll use that and break the whole middle class and lower class, the whole engine of what makes America and countries run in the first place. Let's break them, and then let's go ahead and spend more money and not reduce inflation. Like, this is insanity. This is so oh my God. And of all the things of importancy on their list, the biggest thing they've invested in is energy security and climate change, $369 billion. And it has 3 stars. That's how important it is. This is not an Inflation Reduction Act at all. This is we're going to get whatever the shit we want to and we're going to rape the American people. That's what this is. And I challenge anybody, I don't care who you are around the world, I don't care if you're a Democrat, senator, county person, whatever you are, if you defend this bill and you want to come on the channel live and defend it against me, I will be happy. I will be so happy to rip your entire body in the shreds and throw you right in the Framework Fortune Graveyard playlist because you're full of shit. All of you are full of shit in this government. This absolutely cannot pass. This is going to not help inflation. It's only going to cause more inflation, and it's going to screw over everybody. And it is going to give the IRS more money to be able to screw people over even more, right? IRS tax enforcement. They are adding money to tax enforcement. Oh, God. Guys, share, like, subscribe. Get this shit out here because we've got to stop this nonsense. Like, as like a country, we've all got to come together regardless of what side you're on, what you believe in. This is a piece of paper of literal FU middle finger to all of us. Every single one of us from our government. So stop all the arguing about abortion and stuff like that. We can have those discussion debates later, but right now at this second, we're not going to have a US dollar or a country if we keep going down this road. This is insanity. Let's see. Stocks and Shops, you said if you buy a loan to pay off high interest cards, maybe that makes sense. Yeah, but again, I already did the math, right? If you were, like, I'm a big component of using debt to my advantage. So yes, I get the idea of refinancing or taking out a loan or a line of credit from somewhere else to cut down another debt that's bigger and make the monthly payment on that payment smaller. But this is not going to do anything whatsoever to cut spending. It's only going to spend more, and they're not putting it towards the inflation. They're not putting it towards anything at all that has to do with inflation. None of this has to do with inflation. So, like, I see the case that you're making there, but that is not what they're doing whatsoever. You know, and maybe you're probably agreeing with me, Stocks. I know me and you agree on a lot of stuff, so I don't think you're disagreeing with me. I think you're adding to the point. But just to add to the point even more, you know, this is not that. I mean, this is clearly not that. Oh, you were being sarcastic. Okay. See, I can't tell in the chat, but great breakdown. Pretty scary to say the least. Yeah, Rudy, I know, man. Laura Lee, ridiculous bill. Your brother woke up to me screaming about this morning with no one to listen to me but Sterling. So Stonks and Chomps was just storming around her house this morning, just telling her kids, you know, like, we got to take down this country. French Revolution style. Throw bathtubs out the windows at them. Is that the French Revolution that you're referring to? Or are you talking about the original French Revolution? Because I say that the bathtub thing because that actually has been going on. If you don't watch news outside of America, then you probably have no idea about this. But in the last couple of years, France, their people went on a crazy riot and stuff, and they were throwing bathtubs out the windows of their apartments and just crazy stuff. So I didn't know if that's the way you're talking about because that's pretty funny. But yeah. This is absolutely nonsense. This is not good for the stock market. The only thing that this is good for the stock market is right here. Those energy stocks. You know, they passed this. Those energy stocks are going to continue to get... I didn't even see this, but those energy stocks are going to continue to get support from the government as they are trying to push for energy besides oil. So obviously any other climate change stocks, if this gets passed, is going to be in climate change stocks' favor. EV, energy, all that. Everything but oil, coal, and the things that they don't like. This carried interest loophole. Now, if you're going to put a loophole, first off, why is there a loophole? That they are actively happy about, and they're going to put $14 billion towards this loophole, carried interest loophole. I need to find out what that is real quick. Let's just Google that real quick. And then I'm going to call it a day here for this because I got to get to working. Oh, that's the other thing I got to do before I go here. Carried interest loophole. Oh, okay. So tucked inside the Senate sprawling compromise bill for climate change and healthcare is an effort years in the making to close what Democrats say is a loophole that benefits a handful of the richest Americans, the carried interest tax. And see, this is not representation of the people. The Senate majority is a Democrat. You know, the other person working on this bill is a Democrat from West Virginia. First off, West Virginia has like 100,000 in population. So why somebody who is a senator from a state that barely has anybody in the state, that's literally easy to run, you don't have to do anything. Their economy is nothing. You just let the state do its thing. Everybody's spread out and doing their own thing. He should not have, I mean, like, what experience does he have coming up with a blanket policy for the whole entire United States? None. Now, if this was California, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense, even though California's leaders are crazy, the most batshit crazy of all the politicians we have. It would have made a lot more sense. So that doesn't make sense in the first part. Why that guy would be doing that. About $14 billion meant to fund those efforts would come from a change to the way U.S. taxes what is called carried interest, a major way that many fund managers and private equity investors earn their compensation. So you're going to close fund managers and private equity investors' way to earn compensation? And that's a problem? Has long been controversial because this income is currently taxed at a much lower rate than the salary of most Americans earn for more. Then lower the taxes of the Americans. Don't raise the taxes. God, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. That's right. If the problem is that these people, the rich, are taxed at a lower rate than the salary of most Americans, then lower the rate of the salary of the tax, or lower the rate of the taxes on most Americans. That would be the obvious. That should be so obvious as the first thing to do. So obvious. The long-standing provision has survived repeated attempts and promises to eliminate it from both sides. There's a lot of money at stake. Some of the richest Americans have made fortunes by earning carried interest, especially through private equity funds. Okay, so here's the loophole. Let's find out what this loophole is. So far, I've not seen any type of evidence that this is a loophole of anything. Partners in private equity firms. And let me make the point of, if it is a loophole, if this was created by government, that's another reason why the government should not be involved in free markets. When they do this, they put themselves in the middle of the free market, causing loopholes like this. Don't regulate in the beginning, and you won't have to go back and unregulate and fix stupid-ass problems. Like, this is all such common sense. Alright, so anyway, rather than be subject to the normal individual income tax rate of 37% for the highest bracket earners. So this bill is to tax the highest bracket earners who are already getting taxed 37%. So let's see, that's the carried interest. So long as it's held for the last 3 years, it is taxed at the capital gains rate, which is typically 20% for those high income earners. So if you're a high income earning, you're paying 37% on income tax, and you're paying 20% on your capital gains. So that's 57% if you're in that top bracket that you're already paying. And their idea with this is to add $14 billion to make them pay more taxes. The difference could represent billions of dollars, blah, blah, blah. It says their proposal would raise $14 billion over a period of 10 years. That's it? 14... Dude,
What in Betty White's holy precious name is $14 billion going to do over 10 years? That's what? $1.4 billion a year? That is nothing. In 2020, the management, let's see, the Congressional Research Service, wonder how much we pay in taxes for the Congressional Research Service. This is a service that our tax dollars go to. That amount of money, why don't we cut that out? Here's an idea, government. Let's do this. Let's actually figure this out. Let me do some let's see here. So this is, what is this called? Let's do some math. Let's see how good I am at being a stupid politician. Let's see. So we know it's going to be 1.4 billion by the year. We need to go to the Congressional Research Service, which is going to be in our where is it at? I'm having a blank. A through Z government departments. We're going to go see how much tax dollars their research that come up with this idea cost. Now remember, this money they're raising is $1.4 billion a year for this. Here it is. This is us.gov. If you've not looked at this and you want to see where all your money's going, right here. Right here. This is where all your money's going. We have an A through Z list of departments. What is that thing called? Congressional Research Service. So it's going to be in the C's. Scroll down here. In Congressional Research Service. Right here. Perfect. Okay, so let's go into their website. Here's their website. Or actually, let's do this. That's taking me to services. Annual report. Let's see this annual report for 2020. Let's see how much money they're costing us a year. Look at this amazing, beautiful building that the politicians get to walk around in from our tax dollars. You know, our roads have holes and potholes, but they're over here, you know, just walking around normally, wiping their boogers on these beautiful columns and all this artwork that costs lots of tax dollar money. All right, anyway, let's see. How much did this bitch cost? Budget, right here. C, so 106. Let's scroll all the way down, find 106. In 2020, the service managed $120 million in appropriated funds and approximately $555,000 in grant funds. Okay, that's nice. That's not what I want to know, though. Those are funds you raised. Okay, so let's do this. Average annual salary of employee at, what is this called again? I keep forgetting. Congressional Research Service. Okay. Congressional Research Service. Staff pay levels for a selected position in senators' offices. Well, we can just look at this. This will work. How much are... this was from 2020. Annual maximum pay for selected staff officers or selected staff in senator offices 2001-2021. So at 2021, they were making a nominal, which means the bottom, of 174. Okay, let's pull up a calculator now. Now, this is just the Senate, right? So, how many senators do we have? How many senators in the U.S.? I don't feel like thinking about it. How many senators in the U.S.? So, I'm Googling it. Get over it. I think it was it. How many is it? Is that the 2 from each state? So, 100 members. Okay. That's all we needed to know. So, if we know at a nominal rate that 100 people a year, come on calculator, there you are, $100 people times that 173, and this is just the 100 senators, right? 173.9. 18 million a year just for 100 government officials. 18 million a year. Just for government officials. Just for senators. Just for 100 senators. And that's the nominal. That doesn't include any raises for how long they've been in office. This could be up. We know Fauci's one of the highest paid government members of 500K. So you can go ahead and add that 500K to that. And we're almost up to 3 million just off of that alone. Now, what I wanted to actually see from this congressional research is I wanted to see how many staff members they have and how much they're paying those staff members, because getting to that, we can see what their cost is just in staff member costs. So they're not showing this information anywhere, though. This annual report, and maybe I need to go through it deeper. Let's see. Let's check their career opportunities. So they've got analyst in agricultural policy, analyst in healthcare finance, research assistants in finance and macroeconomics, head legislative analyst and service section, paralegal specialists, legal attorneys, legislative analysts. Entry level, they have graduate recruit program, Hispanics Association of Colleges and University Cooperative Education Program, presidential management flows. I'm curious to how much that program right there costs taxpayer dollars. Law clerk program, student diversity and inclusion student diversity, inclusion and internship program. So our government, this congressional research department has a program for student diversity and inclusion internship. I wonder how much that's costing tax dollars. Because all of this costs tax dollar money. This is all publicly funded. Employee, let's see, federal benefits. If you look at this, if you go through and look at their federal benefits plan and all this stuff, it'll just make you so mad. But obviously, going back to this bill, $1.4 billion a year, I'm pretty certain, just off of the numbers we've done, just kind of trying to get to the number that we're looking for, I believe we're looking at, easily this probably cost over $1.4 billion a year. So cut out the research lab, or cut out our congressional research department, and then you can fix your whatever problem is that we were looking at, the closed carried interest loophole, if that is a problem. Let's go ahead and continue though and read and make sure that this is a problem. It sounds like it's a problem the way they're making it sound, but is it? I don't know. We've already figured out that the top bracket's paying 57% in taxes. Of course, there's ways to get around that and lower that, but still, 57%, you are going to pay as a CEO 57% of your money to fund the government that's trying to tax you more? That's not a good look. What are those companies and CEOs going to do? That's a middle finger from the government. They're going to say, middle finger's back. We're going to China, or we're going to South America. You ain't getting our tax dollars like that. You're already taxing us enough. So all that's going to do is just make them leave. So then who's left to tax? The middle class and lower class, which we are already taxed higher, according to them, than the other rates. So if the problem in the taxes again is the engine, the middle class and the lower class, the engine of the economy, because we're a consumer economy, is broke and poor, then guess what? The economy crashes because they don't have the money to consume, right? So this is all just, it's bad. Okay, there we go. Like it took I didn't even look at the Congressional Budget Office, so that was only the Congressional Research Service that we talked about. But the Congressional Budget Office, let's just look that up. Yearly budget for congressional budget, whatever, what is it called? We have an office to make budgets, Congressional Budget Office. Now let's just see how much tax dollars is going to that right quick. They hide all this stuff. You have to really look deep. Okay, cost estimates. So right here, there's the Inflation Reduction Act for their cost estimates, but that's not what I want to know. I want to know how much y'all are making. And this is all public data. If you cannot find, after researching for a while, what these people are making or what this budget is, the Congressional Budget Office, then that's a real big problem. Jobs. It's funny, just Googling it, it's not wanting to come up. Yearly, but let's see. Let me just do this. Congressional Budget Office annual costs. Look at that. It's not even searched. Brave done it. 55 million. There we go. Now we're working. So their congressional budget, their annual budget is 55 million for them to estimate what these bills are going to do. 55 million for research on 55 million. It took them a year to read this one-page document about this Inflation Act and go, yeah, that seems good. So that's a waste of $55 million. And that was up 2020. Actually, I'm sure that's went up by now. So let's go with, what was that, Congressional Research Office? Congressional Research Service. 106 million. So I was close to getting to that number I was looking for. That's just the budget, you know. So just between those two, that's 158 million, 157 million dollars, and that was in 2012. So that's actually probably way higher than this. So we have our research service that we pay $106 million in taxpayer dollars a year. And we have our Congressional Budget Office that we pay $50 million a year. But here, you want to get real funky? Watch this. This is where it gets real crazy. What did I put in? Annual cost of U.S. Senate. I need to put it in an annual. Yeah, I got to get going. We're real late on the stream. Oh, it doesn't pop that up, right? The majority and minority leaders receive $193,000 annually, so $200,000 to be a senator. But it is not showing the annual cost of the U.S. Senate. Interesting. It showed us those other departments. Oh, here's another one for you guys. This one's a real funny one. It's funny and it's not funny because the tax dollars go to this. This is real. It's not even going to show us, but that same website, the All Government Departments, it's going to take us right to the Japanese Friendship Committee. That is one of our government departments that we pay tax dollars so that we can state that we're friends with Japan. We're best friends, and it cost all of us money to be friends with Japan, which makes no sense whatsoever. Well, here, I'll just go back to here. What is that? Oh, no. Where did you go? Where's my... Damn it. This bill. Oh, it's... Okay. Work for me here. Let's do it. Come on. You can do it. I have faith in you. Okay, that's not... Let me just do the A through Z government departments. Oh, I put the link in the live stream. That was dumb. I should just went over and clicked on it. US Gov. Here we go. Here is the J's. And right here, the Japanese United States Friendship Commission. Let's raise taxes on the rich and do all these other things, but we should continue to pay tax money to be friends with Japan. You know, so that the United States and Japan can go on little lunch picnics out on the weekends in the nice sunshine. Maybe they can go shopping together. United States and Japan's texting little laughy emojis back and forth with their little inside jokes. Come on. Come on. All right. This is enough of this government nonsense. I've pretty much today exposed our whole damn government for the assholes and the greedy pieces of shit they are. So if you haven't looked at this, go look at this. US.gov, federal agencies, A through Z, and look at all the nonsense. All of the nonsense that we pay tax dollars to. And then after you've done that, come back and read this bill. So if you haven't looked through all this, look through all of it, then come back and read this bill and tell me if this bill makes any sense. So for those of you out there who would have debated me on this, you don't need to come on the channel and debate me, because you have a whole bunch of stuff, a whole hour worth of me picking apart that stupid bill, destroying this Inflation Reduction Act bill, on top of a whole A through Z list of tax money dollars that go to all these government departments. If you've not been paying attention, guys, you've got to pay attention who you're voting for, all of that, because if not, you get this type of bullshit. A through, well, they got an A through W. I guess we don't have a Z. Weather Service. White House. Women's Bureau. There's just a bureau for women. Department of Labor Women's Bureau safeguards the interests of working women, advocates for equality, promotes equality work environments. I've got a question. All right, I'm going to end the stream on this. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm going to leave this question out there. And this is mainly directed at anybody who thinks that they can change their biology into another gender. Why is there not a non-binary bureau or a gender fluid bureau? Why is there a woman's bureau? Appreciate everybody joining me as always. You guys have a great rest of your day. Oh, I forgot. Real quick, let me drop in this airdrop for you guys who want to get some of the DLA token. We'll pop over here really quick. I'm just going to drop it in for you in the description. This DLA airdrop is for members of Framework Fortune Discord, so you will have to go through and make sure you're a part of the Discord, all of that. But it's free. DLA DAO is already generating revenues, and part of the revenues will be going back to and actually I need to edit this real quick. This is a different drop. Blah, 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 blah. User detail. Okay, private. Okay. Because the other mini airdrop just ended. Well, actually, no, there's still time left. There's still time left in this airdrop if you guys want to get in it till 5 p.m. today. At 5 p.m., this airdrop for DLA DAO is going to be closed, and we will be starting a new one probably tomorrow. Or maybe today. Yeah, the new bureaus that I come up with, yeah, we're going to have new bureaus. Well, these are real bureaus. The bureaus that I'm going to start making up, we need a bureau of flatulence. I think that would be a good thing. They could study flatulence and how to reduce the smell of farts. I mean, that would be a better purpose than the Japanese Friendship Committee, definitely. If we're going to spend millions of dollars, if you want to reduce carbon emissions, then maybe we should be working on butthole filters so all the farts don't go in there. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Again, go check out the DLA DAO. Join the Framework Fortune Discord. Join the DLA DAO Discord if you're into cryptos and all of that, as we are already rolling with that DAO. And the DAO is estimated value probably around $3,000 to $5,000, and we've only been out 2 weeks when we've made multiple cash flowing asset acquisitions, revenue generation, CRGN, NFTs. Go check it out, guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Until next time.